Hey guys, it's X by PinkX, but you can call me Leah, and this is a Sims 4 speed build that I'm showing you today. You can see on the screen. This is my first Sims 4 speed build and first video with this kind of voiceover, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to play the video and talk along about what I thought of when I was building it, what the inspiration was behind it, and maybe a couple of build tips that can help you guys if you are building in The Sims. So I guess the first thing to say is this build is inspired by a dream I had back when I think I built this about a week ago now. It took me probably about 5 or 6 hours to do the whole thing, but it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. So it came to me in a dream. I had a dream where I was kind of in business partnership with this guy, and he was dying, which I know sounds really morbid. I'm sorry about that, but he was dying, and he basically gave all of his earthly possessions to me and his butler. His butler was a really nice dude. And one of the things that he was very proud of is he had this apartment building, which he had, not an apartment building, sorry, like an office building that he had converted into a house. And I kind of saw the bottom floor in the dream, but I didn't see all the rest of the floor, so it's, the rest of it was kind of just going along with it, what I thought looked good. But the bottom layer is very similar to what went on in the dream, so that's what I'm building here. I did decide to put a pool on the top layer, and I had a bit of a conversation with my boyfriend a few weeks ago, and we were watching a film. I can't remember what film we were watching. I want to say it was the new Ghostbusters film. It was something, and they had a pool on one of the higher levels, and I said, what idiot puts a pool above other rooms? But I decided to do it in this build, and he called me a bit of a hypocrite for it, but the reason I did it in The Sims is because it's not like it's all gonna topple in on you like it could do in real life. So yeah, that's what I decided to do there. There are a lot of windows in this build, and I've heard a couple people say, oh, I don't like how many windows there are, and I did play about with the windows just a little bit. So I changed things around, but because it was like supposed to be an office building, I wanted it to have a lot of windows. I wanted it to be very bright, and that's why it's a big rectangle. I don't usually like builds that are so square and so rectangular, but I did that for this build, obviously, because of what it is. It's an old office building. As you can probably see, I've put like just single items inside of rooms, like the toilet and the sofa and things. Those are just for me in the future, so I can remember what rooms go where. So the sofa basically means it's a placeholder. So the sofa means, hey, it's gonna be a living room here or a seating area. So yeah, here I am playing about with the windows again. I didn't really like it the first few times I did it, so I went back and changed things around. A lot of things you will see me go in and change about. So here we are, we're going in, and oh, there's the basement area as well. There is gonna be a basement as well. And yeah, so we're going in and doing the downstairs bathroom now. It's got 2 bathrooms in this build. Yeah, I don't know why I had to tell you that. You're gonna see it later on. So one of the other things about this build that kind of annoys me about Sims 4 is that you cannot build more than 4 floors above ground level in Sims 4, which kind of annoys me. But I understand why they've done it. They've done it for performance issues, for people who don't have as good computers and still want to run the game and stuff, and I understand that. However, it's frustrating for me because I do have a fairly good computer, and I can't build any tall skyscrapers or anything. That's why this build is only 4 floors tall, and I made the walls as tall as they could possibly be, and I'm not too happy with how it looked, but I did want the build to be as tall as possible. That's why I made the walls as high as they were. So this is the bathroom. One of my favorite things about The Sims in general, about building houses and designing houses, is adding little bits of clutter. So like the soap and little pictures and like the roll of toilet paper, even though it poses, you know, no value to the gameplay, it's a nice little touch, and I really like it. Yeah, one of the things I did like about the front of this build, or how I did this build, is that the front kind of goes up multiple levels, so you can see up to some of the higher levels. And I did want to have some trees inside, like, because I do like having plants in my build. I think it brightens up the place, but I did want to have some actual trees, and those bamboo trees were the only ones that were small enough to kind of fit inside the build without them poking out of the walls and stuff. So that's why I used those trees. I do move these doors around on the first floor, as you can see a little bit later on. Picture frames as well. I love pictures. Even though in my house, in my current bedroom, I don't really have any pictures up apart from my massive picture wall of me and my friends and stuff. But you know, those are like pictures of people. I don't really have random pictures scattered about in my house, and I don't know if I will when I'm living on my own in the future, because I live with my parents now, obviously. Well, not obviously, but I live with my parents. I won't be in a few months actually, which is really scary. But yeah, so I don't really have random pictures and stuff, but I do like having them in The Sims. The reason I moved the door to the front of this room instead of the back, which you saw earlier, is because I wanted it to be a bit of a cloakroom as well, and it's a bit of a laundry room as well. It looks kind of cute, I think. But yeah, kind of the build that was in my dream had the whole bottom bit with the stairs going up the middle, but otherwise it would look too small, so I changed it around a bit. This is the kind of the office, I guess. As you can see on this computer, it has like a yellow keyboard, and I actually color schemed this room around that computer. I decided to make it white with like pops of yellow, and at one point I felt like I'd actually put too much yellow in, so I toned it down a little bit. A little easel and other little skill building things for your Sims. You can use this house. I will go in and test, you know, everything and see if it all works. But I'm gonna try and see if I can put this on the Sims 4 gallery. So if you want to download it and if you want to have a look at it and play with it, I don't really recommend playing with it because it is a bit of a frustrating build. It's very tall. It's gonna take your Sims a lot of time to get to places and things like that. But I had this dream and literally all I wanted to do was build it, so I did. As you can see what I did there to get those items on the desk, you can't really place a lot of items on a desk the way that The Sims has set it up, so you can like levitate items and just make it look like it's sitting on the desk, which sounds kind of weird, but part of me is thinking of making a video talking about all the build tips that I use and stuff, like how I scale up items, how I levitate them, and things like that. Little tips and tricks that I love to use, because I've been building The Sims for majority of my life, and that's not even a joke. I probably started playing the first Sims game when I was like 3 or 4, and then I got my own copy of Sims 2, and I bought Sims 2 free time with my own pocket money, and things like that. I have a lot of expansion packs for Sims 3, all the expansion packs for Sims 2 and 1, and none for Sims 4, which is great considering Sims 4 is where I do most of my building, which is unfortunate. I think when I go to uni, probably most of my uni money is actually gonna go to buying Sims 4 expansion packs, which is kind of stupid, but you know, girl needs to eat and stuff like that. This area was kind of like a lobby area, I guess. It was a random seating area because I didn't really know what I wanted to put here. It felt too open to have it as like a concealed part of the house because it's got that big balcony that looks over and the big windows and stuff like that, and no curtains. And then I decided to put these big statues, which you can see me putting in, because I needed a space filler, in all honesty. So this floor is a bit random, I guess. I really like it though. I think it's very, very cute. So yeah, I'm using a lot of the move objects cheat, which allows you to put objects inside other objects and put things where they don't really belong, because it makes building easier and it makes things look smoother, and you can add lots of little details and things like that. Like, I don't know who's gonna actually water all those plants, but they look cute, so I kept them in. Also, something about my game is I have a lot of downloaded custom content, which means that if you do download this build, I don't know how much of it's actually going to work for your computer. A lot of the picture frames and stuff are custom content. So it's not really a big deal. You can replace them with base game items. However, I just really love the custom content I have. I might try and do a base game build at some point, which I've seen a couple of YouTubers I really like doing. One of my probably my favorite Sims building YouTuber is Hatsie YT. She's a massive inspiration, and she's where I got a lot of my tips from. So I guess making my own build tips video would kind of be kind of useless because I use all of her building tips anyways. But she's really good. If you enjoyed this video, I really appreciate if you go to check her out. She's got a lot more videos, so if you like this kind of style, maybe you'll like her videos. So yeah, here I am moving on to the kitchen. All the cabinets and stuff were custom content because the cabinets that the base game have are very short. I used them in the study that you saw earlier, but they're very short, and the walls here, as I've said before, are very tall. And I'm not very happy with that. but for the build that I wanted to do, I made them that way. So I like those really long, tall cabinets because they looked like they took up more. They did take up more space, and it made the house conversion look a little bit smoother, and it made it look a little less like you're in a factory or an office block, I guess. I'm not a massive fan of the stools I ended up with. Honestly, I wish I had more stools in the game, but I do change things around quite a bit. This is just the main floor with the kitchen, the dining room, and the living room. And I know they don't qualify as separate rooms. I'm very much a fan of open floor plan. I love it. I think it's great how one room can just kind of flow into the other. And so that's what I've kind of done here. Upstairs are all the bedrooms, so it's very organized. It's not much like a house. It's definitely not like a house that you would see in real life, which I guess is kind of cute. It makes it kind of quirky, and things like that. So yes, there's another couple of bits of clutter and stuff that I like adding, like little bits of lemonade and a toaster apparently. You see me playing around with a bit of a room divider. I think that's what it's called. Because I felt like maybe I should use one to separate the dining room, but I didn't really end up doing that. And then you can see there's like a floating cabinet to the top left of the screen, which was just, I knew I wanted to use it somewhere in the room, but I didn't know where, so I just kind of left it there for a bit. Playing around with the floor and stuff. I can't really remember what I decided on, actually. It's been a little while since I did this build, but I've been editing all morning and stuff. I find editing these kind of videos a lot nicer than editing, say, one of my Overwatch videos, because in an Overwatch video, you have to watch the whole thing and think, oh, is this part important? Is this part funny? I don't want to cut up when I'm speaking about something, but these ones are great because there's no sound required, so I don't have to worry about like cutting my own voice, and it's all the footage. So literally all I do is cut out the bits where I decide to take a break, because I think I recorded mostly the whole thing straight. And so yeah, so I just go in and put it all together and make it shorter and things like that. And then now I'm recording the overlaying voice, so I'm not exactly sure when this video is gonna be uploaded, but I don't know. I'd like to do more of these builds videos. If you are enjoying this and you do like what I'm doing and you want to see more, please leave a like and a comment and things like that, because this is my first Sims 4 build video and I want to see what you think, and yeah, that'd be great. So thank you everybody who's already checked out the video. Well, thank you for being here and listening to me ramble on for 20 minutes about this build. One thing about Sims that I do all the time is, you see I've added that bar. I made sure that the cabinets in the kitchen, or the things in countertops in the kitchen, matched the bar. It always made more sense to me to have a bar that matches things like that. Also, a very big building cliche for me is what I'm about to do, where I put a fireplace underneath. Yeah, there it is. Put a fireplace underneath a TV. I do that all the time in my builds. There's another build which I'm gonna show you guys at some point. I didn't record the building of it, but I'm gonna record like a fly-through of it, and I basically did exactly the same thing. It's so cliche of me. Liked adding plants. I don't know why I felt like a cactus belonged in that room, but it felt right, so I went with the cactus. Little record player, which is again custom content, but it looked so right kind of going there, and it's like, oh, you can walk over there and play your records and your vinyls. Making sure I add lights to the build. That's another thing that I don't really do, but I use a lot of the same lights. I don't know why, I just do. Another building cliche is I always add a grand piano. In most of my builds, there is a grand piano, because I absolutely adore grand pianos. I think they're one of the most beautiful things ever made by man. So up here are the bedrooms. I thought I would use a custom content bed, but it seemed like it didn't really go with the rest of the room. This master bedroom oh no, we're not looking at the master bedroom right now, we're looking at the windows. Oh yes, adding extra curtains and things. This master bedroom was kind of themed like a blue, like a classic light sky, kind of grayish blue, with some woody themes, and so everything else kind of matches with that. I play around with this room a bit. I was gonna make the bathroom upstairs an ensuite bathroom to this bedroom, but we only had one other bathroom in the build. I could have added one on the layer below this, which, to be fair, now I'm thinking about it, I probably should have, but I decided to go with this, and it looks alright, and it works okay. Another thing, you can see me save my game every so often, and I left that footage in because, I don't know, I guess it's a good reminder for anybody who's playing The Sims and playing any other game like this to save your game. Because there have been so many times I've been working on something and I've forgotten to save and it's been gone and I've cried and it's been so upsetting, so I don't want to put you guys through that. Save your games. Absolutely save your games. Every time you get a free chance, save your games. I did like the windows into the pool, but I did put curtains over them and blinds and stuff because I didn't want kind of like a peeping Tom kind of thing to go on where someone would be in the pool and someone in the bedroom would look in on them, or someone could be changing in the bedroom. And I know that Sims don't care about that, but I do personally. It's a personal thing that a lot of my builds have to make sense, I guess. This build doesn't really make sense in that, but you know what I mean. Like, I always put tiny little windows out of bathrooms, so then like people don't look in, or I put a little blind or frosted windows and things like that. This was just a second bedroom. I didn't really have a plan out for who would live here, but the top floor has 3 bedrooms. There's a pink kids room and a red, looks like a teenager's room, maybe a guest room. It looks too immature to be an adult's bedroom because it's so bright red, but you know, I could be wrong. You can use it for absolutely whatever you want. Little bits of clutter on the desk. I thought this room was too pink at one point, so I ended up toning it back a bit. It's got like a doll's house and some cuddly toys and stuff, so you can put your little babies or your little kid Sims in there and they can grow up surrounded by pink. Pink is, of course, the best color. I am not biased at all. Pink is the best color. I did download some Pokemon custom content that you could see that I've placed a little Jigglypuff at the bottom of the bed, which I think is so cute, and I put a Pokeball on the desk of the red bedroom as well. So yeah, we're actually coming fairly close to the end of the build. The build itself is pretty much done. It's just decorating right now, and decorating is the best part, in my opinion. I find that building is always a little bit fast and loose with me. So I'll build something and I'll go, yeah, that looks good, and then later I'll come back to it and I'll hate it. Whereas decorating, I don't really find that. I'm usually fairly content with with whatever decorating I do. I believe the bathroom is also kind of a light pink. But it's a nice color, and I know a lot of people might think it's kind of girly, but it's a nice, pretty, homey color. And I wanted this building, I was afraid it was gonna feel too much like an industrial building and less like a house, but I feel like it does come across as quite homey, especially on the floors above. So yeah, I know it's a little bit impractical for your Sims to use, but yeah, I really liked the idea and I decided to just go with it. There were very few times that I went back and did major changes to the build, so like adding picture frames and stuff. But yeah, actually I did start this build and I spent about an hour building it, and then I realized that my recording software wasn't working, so I had to use a different recording software, which was so annoying. But I came back and I did this version, which you're seeing now, and it turned out really well, actually. I'm very happy with it. I only lost probably about an hour of actual work, and that hour was mostly spent like deciding what size I wanted to build, because I didn't know how big I wanted the initial square to be, so I played around with it a lot. So this top floor has some grass on it, and it's a flooring, and I know it's supposed to be grass, but it just feels a bit weird having grass on a top floor. But I went with it because I thought it was like kind of like a secluded kind of paradise area. It's got a barbecue, and it's gonna have like a little climbing frame and things like that, which is all really cute. I really like this kind of rooftop thing. When it comes to roofs, I'm very, very pernickety when it comes to roofs. Hatsy, the YouTuber I was telling you about, actually just recently did a tutorial on how to do roofs better, and I feel like it's actually really helped me. But this build obviously doesn't have any roofing, so I'm not exactly sure what happens when it rains. But I guess you don't have to think about all the details and stuff like that when it comes to these sort of builds. You just go along with it. I did want to add like some lounging seats, but there are none in this Sims game. I was so upset. So I decided to add some rugs and pretend that they were like towels, so when people get out the pool, they can just go on the towel. But yeah, there are no lounging chairs in this Sims game, and I'm so upset by that. There probably are in one of the game packs, like the outdoor retreat or get together or something like that, but I haven't actually looked. So when I get around to buying game packs and stuff packs and and the expansion packs and stuff like that, I will, you know, have a look at what content it comes with and then decide which ones I want. I'm not that interested in like the vampire pack, but you know, I guess we'll see. This front bit was pretty much stripped exactly from my dream as it is. A little bit of a mess up there in the corner, but that's fine. I liked this little fountain area that we had, and it's got like a little car park and stuff like that. Well, it's only area for one car. One thing I do like about The Sims 4 is you can pick up and move your whole lot over as needed. So that's what I've done here when I needed to. Also, if you hit Control F, this is another thing I was going to talk about in like if I was to do a like tips and tricks video, you can place like corner blocks. So you can't do what you did like in The Sims 3 where you place like a fence and you put it down, you remove the fence, it goes all the way. Little mailbox and things because you need it. Oh, love gardening. I love placing down garden bits in The Sims. Again, this is all totally inspired by Hatsie. I know I keep going on about her, but she's amazing, and she's where I get most of my building ideas from. So all of this is very similar to her style, placing the rocks around, rotating them and things to make them look all random, and they look really cute. I like those areas. Okay, moving on to the basement. I didn't really know what I wanted to do down here, so I guess I kind of just made it like a party room. I knew I wanted to have a basement because I don't know. I felt like I should have a basement, and it felt like a nice break away from the quite serious, I don't really know how to explain it, but the top floors, and then you come down in here, and it's just like a bar and things like that. It's got a little dance floor, and yeah, so that's kind of what I've done down here. So yeah, going back to the custom content, I know it's not just custom content, but mostly custom content, and then a lot of other items in The Sims. You can see I'm trying to size up these, those signs, the luminescent signs. Oh, I can't remember what they're called. But those signs, they wouldn't size up properly. The lighting wouldn't go with them, and it was really annoying because I thought it would have been really cool to have a massive underground sign and stuff like that, but it just didn't work. It just didn't work, and I was very, very upset about that. So I had to change things around. I decided to put some movie posters in there. Yeah, here I am trying again with those signs. So I decided to just put like a group of them together. I thought maybe that would look a little bit less weird. So yeah, a little bar, a place for the adults to hang out, I guess, with some wine and stuff. It was just a bit of a random thing to add in the build. Oh, and then a chessboard. Chessboard's another thing that is in all of my builds. I always add a chessboard. Don't really ask me why, I just do. So yeah, that is the end of the build. Another thing is you can see the car in the bottom left. That was actually, the car itself isn't, you don't have cars in The Sims, so I scaled up a toy car and it fit in the build quite nicely. I did that in another build, which I'm going to be showing you maybe sometime this week or next week, but that is all I've got for you today. You should be seeing those screenshots or some fly-through videos of the build now, because I've run out of footage, and I'm hoping I'm going to remember to put that in. So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like and a comment. Tell me what you thought of the build, if you'd like to see more, things like that. If you want to know any tips and tricks, if you want to know anything about what I did in a build, be sure to ask me. I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have. And yeah, I can't wait to see your guys' creations, and I will see you guys in the next video.